it's this loose dirt in these cotton fields that made the emergency landing attempt even more dangerous, saying the front wheel likely got caught pulling on the nose of the plane, causing it to flip.
All right, and none of y'all are hurt?
No, we're not. Just shaking up a little bit.
Okay.
This is audio from a 911 call made after a twin-engine Baron plane crashed in Burleson County.
I thought I heard ambulances a while ago, or a fire truck, or a police, but we're in the middle of this big field.
The pilot, 57-year-old David Deutsch from Arkansas, and his passenger, 67-year-old Charles Lehman from Mississippi, both suffered minor injuries and were transported to St. Joseph Hospital in Bryan.
They didn't know exactly where they were, how to be located, and so the retransmit process and dispatch was able to pinpoint their location on the cell phone.
First responders say the plane was having fuel issues. All of it leaked out, or they didn't have enough fuel before taking off.
Something happened, all the fuel got out of it. So
what we do know for sure is it was an emergency, and investigators say they believe these extremely windy conditions played a role in the plane's crash landing. They were flying from Arkansas to San Antonio on their way to pick up another plane the passenger had purchased.
I'm going to get somebody out there to find y'all.
During their investigation, the FAA opened up the plane's gas tanks and confirms they're both completely empty. Reporting live from Burleson County, Alex, Villarreal, News 3. The fire is considered to be under control. As for Carter Creek Parkway, you can see this parkway is still being blockaded. Bryan police are not letting any traffic drive through here, and actually they tell me they don't know when they're going to open the parkway back up. As far as the fire goes, it is under control, but there are several units still smoking. Now, I just spoke with Bryan's fire chief, and he tells me that right now firefighters are inside the units looking for any smoldering embers and turning over debris inside those units. Crews do expect to be here for several more hours today. And here off of Carter Creek, about 6 of these townhomes have been damaged. And residents tell us they just had minutes to gather their belongings and rush out the door.
Jumped out of the car and went in and woke my fiance up, because she can sleep through anything. So, but yeah, it was crazy.
The fire did jump over to the Old Oaks condominiums. Bryan's fire chief tells me so far they know of 2 townhomes that were affected by those flames, and those residents have also been evacuated. The passenger and the victim both tell police when they did finally arrive at jail, Rubio put $80 into Jane Doe's purse, referring to it as a blessing. Crossing the street and taking this path past K&M grocery store. And this is the security camera that catches him along the side of the building before he decides to take off running down 109. There's all kinds of distractions when you get behind the wheel. Do you know where we're going? Hello? We're on our way. From passengers to cell phones, yeah, there's all kinds of things you can't control. But there are others you can. A couple of these and you're done. That's 300 calories. Years of research and complex testing all boil down to pills and liquids, creams and ointments. And that's what they're hoping will happen with this compound, that eventually you'll be able to take it up in a topical gel form. The biggest price difference we found online is 4 tickets going for $275, right where I'm sitting, in section 105 near the 50-yard line. Or if you don't mind sitting at the end zone and paying $1,200, 4 seats in section 111 can be yours.
Yeah, we do have to.
Well, yeah, all the time.
You don't want someone just to run up on you.
I wouldn't say it's a bad place or nothing. I'd just say you be on your guard while you're up there.
Bryan High School students say it's happening a lot more often, both on campus and off. What are they talking about? See for yourself. These videos don't just show beatings being dealt. You can also see other kids laughing and recording the fights with their phones.
They're passed through text or email or posted on internet sites for everyone to see, and it kind of promotes the fighting in a way that probably wouldn't have been promoted back, 15, 20 years ago.
Bryan police are well aware of the fighting and say school resource officers, also known as SROs, have stepped up patrols.
Along with security and school staff members. They're walking off campus around these businesses.
SROs have issued 53 fighting tickets this year, compared to 216 last school year. Police say the last major fight they had was this one in March.
Hey, there was one yesterday, man. My homegirl Celeste got in a fight. My homegirl Celeste grabbed it. Bah.
So what's behind some of these fights? Students blame some of it on gangs. The police department acknowledges there are gangs in Bryan, but doubt they have anything to do with the fights.
You got your West Side, and you got your Latin Kings, you got your little VLs, then you got your little Stir 13s.
Outside.
Yeah, you know, you got the HKC.
Yeah. So hey, the killer clique.
Yeah, that's what it is right there, HKC.
Something you got to think about is some people think they're in a gang, but they're not really in a gang. They're in a club or they're in a tight-knit of friends.
There is a new group in town, identified in several of the video postings.
It's a little crash test dummy gang. That's like the one that's really like starting stuff. Yeah.
So what's a crash test dummy gang?
It's like they're down for whatever.
We are gathering intel and we're monitoring it, but this group doesn't meet an organized criminal street gang by our definition yet.
While these groups think the videos are promoting their presence, police are using them to help take the groups down.
You need to think about that. It's not always a cool thing to do to film it and post it, because it can also bite you in the butt.
I'm just trying to get my little diploma right here and just walk out. That's all it is, just making it.
Students who can't walk out on a fight could end up building a disorderly conduct record that will follow them for the rest of their lives. Kristen Sajewski's been furiously following the wildfires in Grimes, Waller, and Montgomery counties for nearly 2 weeks. Eventually, she didn't have the time or patience to continue scanning 10 or 12 different web pages for updates, so she created her own on Facebook called Just the Facts.
So they could prepare their families, and I even wanted the facts to maybe calm their nerves. My roots are deep, and this community is my family, and so
This isn't exactly something Kristen had time for. She's a Magnolia elementary school teacher and had recently added another job to her resume.
Having, a 9-month-old, it was not okay to stay up till 4 in the morning doing this by myself and then have to.
She asked 2 Facebook friends originally from the area to help instead of walking out on the project. From early in the morning until late at night, her thumbs are constantly moving, posting updated information as fast as possible, because this scanner hound's operation is fully mobile.
You really had to get creative about when you updated and when you listened.
Kristen says she'd do it all over again, should anything else flare up.
I mean, that's what people from this community do. We step up and we do what needs to be done, and we get creative and we find ways to help each other.
The Facebook page is still up, working to keep people safe and inviting anyone to share their success stories and experiences. Alex Villarreal, News 3.
Sorry, Baylor, I'll let you later. Really on the cool, we doing you a favor. We true, best believe it. This Texas A&M, new members of SEC. Now what Baylor got to say.
Duke Bentley and Putton are rap artists. They're also fans of Texas A&M.
Big fan, yeah, I'm a big fan. Something in me told me to call him and say, it's that time we do that song.
In 3 hours' time, they had a new Aggie anthem.
Some of it might sound good, but then you get another line that's just like, okay, yeah, this is it. This is the one. I gotta put this one.
You catch Highway 60 the other way. You hear that 12th man come and feel the earth shake. Now that's an earthquake, devastation every play.
In 24 hours, CC Creations became one of 7 vendors in the nation allowed to print the SEC logo. They worked through the night to screen, print, and roll out 3,500 custom-made SEC A&M shirts. 20 different designs will be available for adults and kids.
If you have any Big 12 shirts, kind of useless now, so got to replace the arsenal. Yeah.
The new gear's only adding to the excitement.
It's the anticipation. It's kind of like waiting for Christmas. The more you wait, the more excited you get.
I needed to come get a Texas Aggies to the SEC shirt. Waited a year for this. It's about time.
Time to move on. Out with the old and in with the new.
I've heard a lot of people talk about how we're going to have to change the fight song if we don't have that tradition in the future. So maybe the rappers are helping us right now get started.
It's great. Hopefully it could be the team's game day song. Y'all listening?
Get them crunk a little bit.
Yeah.
Get them hyped up.
It was the players, after all, asking them for a song in the first place. Alex Villarreal, News 3.
Good.
Good job, guys.
It's just amazing how, God has placed in our hearts the way to look at this, to give us that peace, to be able to move past that pain.
2.5 years later, Laura and Brad King are past the tears and all smiles when they talk about their baby boy. In November 2008, at an in-home Bryan daycare, 3.5-month-old Nathan stopped breathing after his caregiver put him on a foam pad on his stomach. The cause of death? Sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS.
When we got the autopsy report back, we found that there was diphenhydramine in his toxicology report.
This is more commonly known as Benadryl. No one suspected malicious intent, but the Kings knew they didn't give their baby the medicine.
Benadryl isn't even supposed to be administered at his age, which was 3.5 months, so that would even take a physician's order.
SIDS is the leading cause of death in babies between the ages of 1 month and 1 year, and 20% of them happen in daycare facilities.
The DA's office was also looking at it and didn't have any concrete evidence either, and so the case was closed from a criminal side.
The daycare's permit was revoked and eventually shut down, but that was the extent of the punishment allowed by law. The Kings want to change that and turn to State Representative Fred Brown with Nathan's Law, or House Bill 1615.
This would stop that from happening in the future because any child care center could not give any kind of medication unless they had a signed order from the parent or guardian.
Here's how the bill breaks down. It prohibits medication from being given to children in daycare centers, group daycare homes, and before and after school programs without written permission from a parent or legal guardian. It defines medication as those prescribed by a doctor and the kind available over the counter, like Benadryl. An offense under this would be considered a Class A misdemeanor unless there's serious bodily injury or death. That bumps it up to a 3rd-degree felony.
Well, it won't bring back their baby. That's the sad part. But the good thing is it will prevent this from happening in the future.
It's still in the early stages, but Nathan's Law could be in effect as early as September 1st. Alex Villarreal, News 3.